Robin, Slim Show, we are back with Kevin Israel. How have you been, Kev?
What's happening, fellas?
Oh, it's been too long.
It's good to see you. Back in the compound.
Yes. The crawl space.
In the
crawl space.
In the pits of Jersey.
We had an interview, and somebody, whoever it was, he said he loved Tuckerton, and I don't know if it was you or John.
I remember.
Our buddy John. Somebody said, why do you love Tuckerton? And he said, because they're turkey vultures.
We're like, what?
They are the nastiest,
They always,
fucking mangiest
they always
animals.
hang out in the backyard.
They're out here, and they're just like, there's a cat pen that somebody has out there, and the turkey vultures looming over
They
in
look like
the
those
cat pen.
things. Ever seen that movie, The Dark Crystal? They look exactly like.
You know you're in South Jersey because you said two things: turkey vultures and cat pens. I don't even know what a cat pen is, but I feel like that's
Just a big cage full of cats.
Oh man, I feel so bad for any of your listeners that aren't in Jersey.
I'd never seen a stupid turkey vulture until I moved down here, and I was delivering. I worked in a pharmacy, and I was delivering prescriptions for old people, and this fucking turkey vulture starts charging me in the delivery car. I was scared shitless. I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
They're like giant winged rats.
Right?
They really are.
Yeah.
They are disgusting.
They're the worst.
And then I think it was last winter. There somehow, I don't know how the squirrel died in my yard, but it was like winter and it was frozen. It was like 2 degrees outside. And this
That's a popsicle for them.
Yeah, this turkey vulture was sitting in the shitty tree in my yard, and anytime I went out for a cigarette, it would just come down and like charge me. And I'm like, fuck, I just want the cigarette. I don't want the squirrel.
I thought you were going after its pudding pop.
Love when they'll sit there with their wings out.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
They are pieces of garbage. And
they're the worst.
only here. I've asked people from elsewhere, and they're like, "What the fuck is
What is a turkey vulture?
It's such a South Jersey thing, and they know like not to go above 195. They purely live below 195. We won't take them up there.
Not allowed above Belmont.
Some guy just manufactured them in his basement.
What do you breed to get that? Like,
You mix a rat with an eagle and a hooker.
And that does sound like all three things you can find in Jersey. So.
all the finest, all the Jersey's finest.
You have her squat on the eggs and keep them warm so that they hatch.
Oh yeah. Slambo went to college. He knows this
I know how to do
now,
that.
Kevin.
I've seen. It's science.
He knows a lot. He taught us about dragon genitals earlier. And
The cloaca.
Lizard-
You got the
lizard-
cloaca.
That's how birds bang.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had to look. I
these are like
looked
a
it up
couple
once.
college buddies.
No, I mean, you figure as an adult who went through, I graduated law school.
Yes.
I would know how birds reproduce. And one day I got into a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what? And somebody goes, yeah, it's something about like a bird dick. And I was like, I don't think birds have dicks. And so we did this deep dive into how birds, and then we watched videos of birds. We're watching duck porn.
I did it years ago. I went out in my yard again for a cigarette because I'm a dirty smoker, and two slugs were like on a big long loogie just spinning around each other, and I'm like, what is this?
God.
And I googled it, and that's how they reproduce. They just spin around each other
They
on a
like-
big long.
They
slam.
like
That's
jab
hot.
each other with these.
And you have to pay extra for that if you want.
Yes.
Slug porn.
Slug spinning around on a loogie. Yeah, Simon was telling us how like the lizard has the hole, and then inside the hole is the
like
penis
everything.
and the anus.
Yeah.
Or the ovipositor.
The what? The ovaries?
ovipositor. Where
What's
they,
an ovipositor?
Where they squeeze the eggs out.
Oh, you are a squeezer.
That's in there too,
Yeah, there's
with the anus and the
It's-
penis.
oh.
Or?
anus, the
okay.
penis,
Oh wow,
or the
you have
females.
he has like a diagram.
Stop stealing Kevin's mic time. Fuck, I don't need to hear this.
Interview with Kevin Israel. We just talk about lizard
Lizard
penises.
penises, turkey vultures.
It just became the crocodile hunter. I got to see a pigeon fuck. It was amazing. A beautiful thing the way they bang. Like
You know, a funny story, somebody got me an action figure of him as a gag gift one year, and when he died, I sold it for like $120.
That's amazing. Best gag gif ever.
Crocodile Hunter action figure.
that was a gift.
Yeah. Sometimes you got
You
it.
eBayed it. You eBayed it for some
Yes.
cigarettes.
For rest in peace, crocodile.
He died, and you're like, oh sweet, I have a figure of him. I can make shitloads of
Let's
money
make a
off.
few bucks.
Jesus.
Did you stick something in his fucking chest?
It comes with the stingray.
Yeah, Stingray
Action
toy.
Stingray.
That was the set. It was a play set, bro.
And now his daughter's doing it.
oh
His
yeah,
daughter's doing it.
Okay.
Oh,
She was like, you
shit.
know what? Because it worked out really well for my dad.
Right.
So I'm going to give this a shot.
following
my
his
God.
footsteps.
What could go wrong?
Why is there only one set of footprints?
Stay
Because
away
that
from
died.
stingrays.
She's wrestling
She's
poisonous snakes in the jungle.
fucking eels and shit. She's a real dummy. Real dummy. But
I wouldn't want to get into that.
I have.
Ooh,
Wow, look at
Struggle
that.
is
that
real.
is beautiful.
Look at that.
Man, that is. That's
Can I touch it?
That's another thing. Like I was talking to
wow.
somebody at work just the other day. Like,
Oh, that is a young you.
That is a very young man.
he's a 20-year-old dude, and I'm like, dude, you're buying all your music digitally. You don't have the CD.
that is
You don't have the
legit.
album. You don't have the artwork. You don't have the.
Yeah.
It's great having
Awesome.
a physical copy of
Yeah.
a CD. This is awesome.
There's a picture of you. Were you in like a
Oh.
marching band or something?
Yeah, I was in
High
a marching
school.
band in high school.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh, I was a super geek.
I bet you were fun at parties, Kev.
I was too busy playing Dungeons and Dragons, so I couldn't really break away from that for parties. But
Slim does that every Thursday. If you want to come by, like,
No, just like board games. I stay away from Dungeons and Dragons. It's different.
no, I
It's
was
different.
I was fully entrenched in role playing, and not with chicks dreading leather or anything. I wish I was.
It's a sexy kind of.
By the way,
role-playing.
so one of my buddies who follows me on Twitter, you guys, you either retweeted something I tweeted or I retweeted something you did. I know I retweeted your Follow Friday thing with the whole list.
Okay.
One of my buddies hits me up and goes, "Hey, that Robin Slim thing. You know, all those other people are like sex workers, right?" And I was like,
yes.
"No, I didn't, but it makes complete sense."
Is that telling you to like block us? Like, what was that? Like, don't we're getting into more with us.
How did you guys get? I mean, I can figure it out myself, but
Sarah, one of the girls on Night Flirt, was the first interview we had with a sex worker, and she recommended a girl named Ryder, and we.
Ryder, I'm friends with. I'm
She is
follow her.
super cool, and she does a weekly segment for us. Ryder reacts
she?
to Urban Dictionary. She reacts to a phrase we find on there.
Have you seen her?
She is sexy.
Yeah,
Sexy as
Really?
fuck,
See, I
yes.
just assumed you just because she's a phone call. She does
Yeah,
like phone calls, right?
phone sex operator on Night Flirt, and yeah.
But does she do like webcam stuff too?
She doesn't. I think some of the girls do. There's a chick, Ruby. She was in there too. I think she's a courtesan.
Because I had a
okay.
podcast for a while where me and
Oh.
another guy interviewed webcam chicks,
Yes.
and it was awesome for us. But after like the sixth one, we were like, "This is the same thing."
Well, that's it. I don't look for like, yeah, like what's it like? We want to talk to them for who they are. I mean, they all have different stories of what they deal with, but yeah, we don't talk to them as
Yeah,
we're
the
that
one
kind of shit.
the last one we did actually, the girl ended up she does porn now. She's done like real, the legit
She's gotten
bang
into
bus
that.
type porn. Yeah,
We had we didn't have her, but our buddy Cobra years ago sent me a video because he had done a podcast at one point, and it was
I still have that video. It's in
Cam
the Google
girl,
Drive.
and her thing was like she let a squirrel piss on her or something, bro. Like it was like you could see the fleas jumping around this, and he interviewed her like video.
and you know what?
interview.
There's
It was-
some guy who's like, "I can't wait to beat off to
That's
that."
it though. There's tons of guys.
Like if you're willing
like
to
this
do
guy
it,
right
yeah.
here.
That's what he went to college for, to beat off girls with
Beat
flies
off
around them.
squirrels.
to get some of that squirrel piss.
Tug on your little cloaca.
Oh God.
I thought you were gonna say your friend was like, "How do I get on the Robin Slim show?"
Oh yeah, and then that's what happened next. Yeah,
See,
right.
I thought he was gonna say, those guys are racist and homophobic.
Oh yeah, we're not going there. That's a whole nother Jolitz. Oh. I was gonna ask you too, though, Kev. You mentioned it going to college for law. If you had the chance to redo it, would you still have done that?
No.
No?
I am going to be paying off law school for the rest of my life. And
That's
children's
another
life.
thing I wondered about.
It's a huge amount of debt.
Oh.
And if you're not going to like back in the 80s and the 90s, you went to law school because you were going to make a ton of money.
Dude, you were suing McDonald's for hot coffee. Like you were going to make your name somehow.
Right. There and being a lawyer, just being a lawyer guaranteed you a big paycheck. And law school wasn't as expensive as it is now.
No.
Now when I graduated law school, I was really lucky. I was one of the I think the 60% of my class that had jobs. 40% of my graduating class from law school couldn't get jobs.
How long ago was that? Like 90s?
2009.
2009. Wow. So that's
So now it's even worse.
wow.
Yeah, supposedly it's gotten a little better, but it's just not. It's not what it used to be. It used to be like your golden ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have my law degree. I'm gonna go make a ton of money. I could go just be a lawyer on my own and make a ton of money. And it's not like that. There's so many because especially in the 90s going into the 2000s when there was the recession, everybody was just like, well, I'm not making money, so I'm just gonna go to law school.
There were a lot of jobs back in the day like that. You could pay, you could support a family on a job that just they're not around anymore.
Are you saying now it's just oversaturated and that's the
Completely.
issue? There's just too many. There's too many lawyers and too many good ones already there.
not enough ditch diggers, right?
No, and it's true. Now,
It is.
now the suggestion is go learn to fucking do HVAC.
Learn a trade, yes.
Yeah, learn to do
HVAC,
something
Do roofing.
useful.
Yeah.
And it's so much more because especially and now lawyers there's Westlaw and LexisNexis, which are legal research websites. And that cuts down the work of a lawyer so much because you used to have to go through all these books and find but now you can just do it all online and you can search and it's so much faster. And again, there's still work that goes into it.
Yeah.
But you don't need the massive team of lawyers just doing research that you used to need because it's all right at your fingertips, like anything is now.
Yeah.
So it's just it's not what it used to be. And law schools haven't caught on to that yet because they just want to make money.
They're still trying, yeah.
So you
to
have
make
people
that.
graduating with $300,000 of debt who aren't even getting a job making what to pay that off. And it's terrible. It's definitely it's not worth it unless I was basically that guy who was like, I don't know what I'm doing myself. I'm going to go to law school. And unless you know that I want to be a lawyer, this is what I want to do, don't go to law school. And even if you do think you want to be a lawyer, talk to some people.
Yeah.
So
Wait on it.
you are
Just
saying
wait
you
on
made
it.
you made a mistake. Like you fully believe you made a mistake.
Well, he didn't make you.
I can't. I can't say it was a complete.
I'm not a mistake. I'm a mishap.
You're an accident. It's not a mistake.
whoopsie.
It's different. It's
I'm
different.
a whoopsie.
I was a whoopsie too.
I was too. My parents got married after whoopsie.
I was a guess what I can still do.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't say it was a complete mistake because I met my fiance in law school.
Okay.
That's cool.
So I'm not allowed to say that. Was
Yes.
she worth $300,000? I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to cut this for the show, right?
Oh no, I've told her to her face. Like, and we're combining law school debt. I was like, your life would be so much better without me.
Does she practice?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
She does.
So at
She does.
least.
Did you attempt to practice after you got the degree, or you did?
I worked for a couple years. Yeah.
You
And
just
I
didn't like it?
Hated it.
Did you also work in politics?
Yeah.
Was that what you did in politics? Like
No.
the legal thing,
I
or-
worked in politics. I went to law school, worked at a law firm for a while, and then went back to politics.
That seems like it would be fun. Like a lot of mudslinging and like a lot of drama. Like
It is at first. As a young
exciting.
kid, working on campaigns and stuff is cool.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff you see in the movies, and then after a while, you just start to see, because you see behind the veneer of all the politicians and what the people really are. I was lucky. I worked for some really good people, but
who was that one? You didn't deal with the guy that was McGreevy? You didn't.
no.
He was a mess.
Don't you notice how I sit down weird?
I see you flinching at
sit
the
down-
rest stops.
I sit down very gently. No, I didn't work for McGreevy. I was working in politics when McGreevy was in office, and I'll never forget the day one of my buddies called me. I was working for a state legislator at the time. One of my buddies who worked in Trenton called me, and he says, "Hey man, something's going down at the State House. I think something happened with Governor McGreevy." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I don't know. A couple of reporters have called me asking me if I know what's going on." And then that later that day he came in. That was the I am a gay American.
I worked at a pharmacy, and the guy that owned the pharmacy's dad is just an old crazy guy, and he would come in all the time, and he would tell me, I know that guy. I forget what town he ran as mayor before, but he's like, I know he's gay. I know he does stuff, and for years I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, whatever, old man.
I'm telling you, I blew him. He's definitely.
I've tasted his cum. What else do you need?
You know what's so funny though? After he came out, 12 people I knew were like, "Oh yeah, he always hit on me."
It was just crazy.
Why weren't you saying anything beforehand?
It was crazy that he had the wife and kids, right?
Yeah. But that's the tale as old as time.
Yeah.
How many? It's like Congressman so and so was caught in a rest stop, glory holing.
He can't be. He's got kids.
You know, conservative, Christian-loving, anti-gay congressman found getting DP'd by.
Getting shish kebabbed.
He was Eiffel Towered by Mandingo.
It's always funny when it's those ministers in the mega churches.
Oh yeah,
It's so satisfying. It's so good to see shitty things happen to shitty people.
On every level, even the small church that my sister goes to, when it started, the preacher, got caught cheating on his wife, and I was like, I knew I didn't like that guy. Fuck religion. Fuck religion.
That's what religion makes you do. It makes you do the worst things possible. Yeah, it's true.
Kev, did you see it? Ready Player One?
Oh, it was amazing.
It was?
Yeah,
okay.
It was awesome. They did a good job. My fiance and I read the books.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask if it held up.
The book, it definitely did hold up. They changed a lot. Spielberg first of all couldn't get all of the rights to all of the properties in the book. Literally, if you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, they referenced everything from your childhood in that book. Wow. Every single thing you ever
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
everything.
Power Rangers,
everything. Voltron, everything.
Transformers.
But they couldn't get the rights to all that stuff. Yeah. So in the movie, Iron Giant is in it.
I saw that in the
But he's not in the book. But that was what they could get there. They needed a giant robot, and that was apparently the giant robot they got the rights to. So they changed a lot, but it still kept true to the overall theme of the book. And I thought I actually thought the ending was a little better, but it was a great.
Wow.
And it was such a good. It was just a simple movie. There's not gonna be 3 more of them.
Okay.
There's not gonna, there was no deep meaning. It was just, you got to sit down. It was, the visuals were awesome. The special effects. It's gotten to the point now with the special effects where you can't even tell.
No.
Because half the movie takes place in virtual reality, so they looked like their virtual reality selves.
Cool.
And it wasn't distracting. It wasn't.
That's cool.
Just that technology has gotten to a point where it's so good.
I don't know if you ever seen the Final Fantasy movie from back in the day. It's a great movie, but it's just obvious. It's painfully obvious how
Well,
CGI'd
it's going back and watching stuff you said you weren't into Beast Wars, but I was into Beast Wars. I rewatched that and it's really bad.
I was just thinking,
you could see the fucking glitches in the
the original. What was that? The Greek mythology movies with the clay.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes,
I love that movie. Jason and the Argonauts.
Those older ones. Yeah, back in the 70s.
But those special effects were whatever. That's the same.
Yeah, no, it was really good, and it definitely got. It was as successful as it deserved. It was
cool.
It was a really.
And
really
you
good
said
movie.
any plots that they brought up, they resolved everything. It was a singular movie, had a beginning, of an end, and
there's almost you could always do a sequel.
To be continued with a question mark. I like doing that.
But that author, he's only written 2 books.
Really?
He wrote that and another movie called, I think, Armada. He wrote Ready Player One in 2011, I think, and then Armada was the second book he's written. And I don't think it takes place in the same universe, but it's about this kid who's, it's almost, ever see Starfighter, something of the Starfighter, the movie where the kid plays a video game.
I think it was called Starfighter.
Yes.
I do know.
Called Starfighter,
and he gets sucked into the arcade game.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that.
Or no, I'm sorry, I have to correct myself. He doesn't get sucked into the arcade game. It turned out that the arcade game was built to train a starfighter.
The Last Starfighter?
The Last Starfighter, that was it, yeah.
So it's kind of like that, and they've already, they knew how successful Ready Player One was going to be, and a studio immediately bought the rights to his second, but he's only written 2 books.
Wow.
And they're both huge hits. And now he's gonna have 2 huge movies off of it. That's how you make a career.
Yes,
That's awesome.
You don't do what
He doesn't
I'm
even have to
doing.
do anything else. He's done. He can just relax the rest of his life. Maybe shit out of like a shitty book just for fun.
Yeah, every now and then you just scribble some shit on a napkin. But you're already a rock star. You're already that fucking dude.
Yeah, he killed it.
Having worked in politics, I didn't know if you wanted to play our trivia game. We have a game where the Slamborghini.
Who is a politician if you didn't know?
He ran. He what did he do? He
ran for president.
He ran for president.
Yeah, he
Presidential
did.
election, yeah.
He had actually debated against real people who were running for president.
Such as Vermin Supreme and that.
Vermin Supreme.
and there was a guy. There's a homeless guy. So
And there was the leader of the Socialist Party.
the
Yeah,
Socialist
that guy.
Party. Yes.
Something. Socialist.
Mimi
I don't know.
Stolkovich or
So I would read you a line, and all you would guess if it was Slambo or a politician.
Oh, I love it.
It's called "Who Slam It Be Now," and it's got its own catchphrase. It's got its own jingle. So I'm gonna find that right now, and this is our "Who Slam It Be
Slam
Now."
it be now. Who slam it be now? Who slam it be now? Who slam it be now?
Okay, so this is "Who Slam It Be Now." Oh, I gotta stop that because that's the buzzer. But okay, I'm just gonna give you a line, Kevin, and you are gonna guess if it's Lamborghini or a politician. That's it. Simple as that. First one. Let's see what we got. All right, a lot of people go to prison straight and come out gay.
Politician.
Ben Carson. That was Ben.
Was it really?
So that is a
I'm
point.
predicting that Kevin might
I'm hoping.
get a record
There's,
here.
there's science behind that.
We need to put drugs back in the hands of the people.
That was Lamborghini.
That was. Holy shit! I thought that was Vermin Supreme.
I thought that was a politician too.
I've never hit my mother with a hammer, and I've never stabbed anyone.
It's Lamborghini. No.
The scary.
That was Mike Huckabee. Shut up! I swear to God. That was another one. I thought Slambo. It's been so long since I've read some of
The
these.
scary part is you can't tell.
There is
No.
There's a fine line. There's a fine line. African Americans watch the same news at night that ordinary Americans do.
Politician.
That was Bill Clinton.
Wow. Wow. If you're listening to this, you'll want to fact check these. I don't trust Rob.
Yeah, I did. A zebra does not change its spots.
That was a politician.
That was Al Gore.
I gave you. I'm
was
giving
that
you, I
about?
give you a little more credit.
They have stripes. He does. He knows the lizard. We know that. We have to pass a bill where. Oh wait, we have to pass the bill so you can find out what's on it.
Slambo.
That was Nancy Pelosi.
That is something I would have said.
It does. I've never heard of a plumbus, frankly.
Slambo. No.
That
Of
was.
course he knows what a plum is.
He does. That's from Rick and Morty. That was Jim Hedges. He was the Prohibition Party.
A guy that he
did-
campaigned with. Or
I
I
competed
did
with.
bring up something
Debated with.
about
Debated.
plumbuses in the debate.
Yeah.
I asked if plumbus trade was going to be crucial to our country.
What's a plumbus?
That is a whole nother,
You've never seen Rick
whole
and
nother
Morty?
level.
No. I know of it.
You gotta
Yes.
get on the Rick and Morty train.
I will Google that and play it and send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to take up the interview with Plumbus.
No, we don't have to.
That was you got 4 right, Kevin. That is good.
I'll take it.
We've got some people just 3 strikes and they're out. Like,
Wow.
Definitely was the best one.
I think we
yet.
had one guy to get like 11 or 12.
One guy on a fluke.
Yeah.
That's luck. That's pure luck.
Yes.
You don't know all of that.
Because he could be a politician, like the thing Slambo says.
One
like,
of the things was I love turkey fighting. They get all violent and they bring in revenue. And everybody says politician, but it's him. It's him. It's this genius. genius right here.
Turkey fighting.
The revenue word tricks them. They're like, I don't think Slambo knows that. Wait, how many syllables?
Oh man. Turkey fighting would bring in hardcore revenue though.
They would.
So Kevin, what else have you seen in theaters lately? Because there's a few films that I want to see. Like I've wanted to see Tomb Raider. I wanted to see.
That's out?
Yeah, that's out. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see what's the one with the giant robots. I love the first one, and I don't remember the name.
Oh,
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
God, I
love
hated the first one.
See,
I like the first one.
I liked the first
wanted to
one
ask about
enough,
that.
but I didn't. The second one didn't look like it's gonna be good. I wasn't compelled to see. We just saw A Quiet Place with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
How was that?
Amazing.
It looked like it was. That's what I've
Amazing.
been really wanting to see.
The premise, by the time you get to the end, it's a little. I mean, obviously it's unbelievable, but there was some holes. But the tension they build up in that movie, because they don't talk. They don't talk for most of the movie.
You can't, or you're
the
done.
whole time of that movie, you're just waiting, and it's just constantly shit jumping out, and you going, "Dah!" and so we saw it in the theater, and I love jump scares, but I am also like the worst with, like, I will yell or physically, and my fiance, it doesn't even faze her. Like you could like jump out at her in the dark and grab her with like an animal claw, and she'd be like, "Just cut it out." And it drives it drives me nuts. But you know what?
Yeah.
Jim from The Office has some directing skills, because he wrote, he starred, and I think he directed it.
Oh, wow.
And it was awesome. It was really, really good.
Let's see that.
All the trailers really got me.
Yeah, and the monsters in it are cool. The whole premise is really, it was a really well done movie. For movies that, there's so many big, complicated movies out now.
Yeah.
Either you have to pay complete attention, or you need to know a backstory, or they're just giant budget movie.
Yeah.
This was a simple, small movie. It was a movie that took place in a much bigger world where big shit was going on, and it just was this one family, them dealing in this situation. And it was really, really,
Oh,
Looks
it's just
really
one family.
interesting,
That's
yeah.
even crazier.
Yeah.
I didn't know
it's
about.
just their experience living in this world with these creatures.
Awesome.
It was really good, and it was scary, and everything was just the silence. And it was definitely one of those things where he was probably drunk with some friends one night. It was like, imagine if there were creatures and you just couldn't make any noise. That would be an awesome movie.
You would be done, man.
It was like that movie with Vin Diesel where they couldn't like step into the light, but like we're doing it with sound.
Right.
And your buddy was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." Because your buddy fucking.
You have a bunch of money. I do have a bunch of money. You can do that. I'm gonna do that. You know people. I know people.
Have you ever pursued acting, Kev?
I've done a little bit. I've had a couple of little web series. I did the Bros thing.
I did like that. What was it? I don't know how long ago we thought of the Brunch Bros.
Oh, yeah.
We just brainstormed that on Twitter. I was gonna send Slambo just to somebody's house with like some Wawa and like a beer, and it would be the Brunch Bro. And I think you said, Brunch Bros should be the podcast.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I've done some of that. I've gone on some auditions. It was never it's funny. I had a show. I did a show in the city, and an agent was there who liked me. And was like, I want to have a meeting with you. And that is like, oh shit, like this is it. This is everything.
See, I would think like, I don't want to go with this guy. There might be a better guy.
No.
He might be jipping me.
No. After 16 years, you go with
You
whoever.
go with that guy behind the dumpster.
A blind Dalmatian walks in and it's like, I want to represent you. You're like, I love Dalmatians. I'm with you. I've always loved you. Love the movies. I'm with you. So we went.
Slambo, offer him something now.
Slambo, what do you got on?
Oh, you'll be better than half the people
So how did it go? Like
So I went and had this meeting, and he was with a legit agency who repped comics, bigger comics than me, and I sat down, and he was like, the meeting started off and goes, so have you thought about acting? And I said, I figured like, this guy could be my agent. I'm gonna be honest with him. I'd be like, you know what? I didn't get into this to act. I love stand up. I love performing. I love being on stage. I just wanted to be a working comic. And the minute I said that, you could see like his face just and he was
It
like,
just changed.
he's like, well,
Wow.
would you be interested in acting? And then in my back of my head, it was like, kick into whore. Like, be the whore that you are. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll act. I love, I mean, I'm always willing to do
You started
anything.
taking your shirt off. You're like, yeah, I'll act.
Jim McGreevy, come on. So he starts going. He's like, it's tough to make it as a comic, just a comic. You see all these big comics and they act too, and all these people, blah 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 blah. And I was like, no, I get, like, I'll do it. I'm just saying that wasn't my goal of getting into this.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, he says, have you done improv? And I said, no, I never did improv. He says, you should think about getting involved in one of the improv troops. And comics and improv troops are like Civil War.
Really?
Wow.
I figured they went hand in hand.
Like,
Yeah, I thought
no,
like a lot
no.
of comics started out in like improv.
I mean, there's
Both.
there's some overlap, but stand-up comics usually don't like improv groups, and vice versa.
Wow.
I guess
And,
that makes sense because comics is all you guys are scripted for the most part,
Right.
while like improv is like coming up with shit
Right.
on the spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, he goes, well, you should think about doing something in the city and blah 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 blah. And then I was just like, oh, this isn't going anywhere. And then like if you saw a videotape of me, you probably just saw my whole energy and I was like, all right, this is just a waste of time.
At least
and
you
knew.
knew.
The whole meeting was like 17 minutes. And then he's like, well, let's stay in touch. Let's see what happens with you. And I was like, what do you mean what happens with me? You were supposed to be what happens with me.
You were the guy that was gonna happen.
We were getting
all over
like
this.
nothing's happening without. I'm just gonna keep doing these shows like until somebody like you says. And I started to walk back to the train station, and my fiance, she was my girlfriend at that time, called me and she started asking me like all these questions, and I was trying to be all cool with it. And then in the middle of the street in New York City, I just broke down crying.
I was whoa! No, I was gonna say it as a joke. Like, you just
No,
started
I
crying,
did,
right?
and I was like, I've been doing this 15 years, and nobody cares. And this is that I'm standing in like the middle of the street, people are honking at me.
I do that sometimes with the show. I'm like, I ain't making no money yet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing 5 years. Like,
Yeah,
and
no,
we do a
it's-
4.5 hour show. Like, yeah, it fucks with you.
yeah,
like,
it's
sometimes.
tough, and then you get teases like that where it's and honestly, and you don't want to be a beggar, but you just want to go to that person like you're all it would take.
Yeah.
like you just need to. You could get me in front of somebody. And then you're just like, no, I have more pride than that, though. Like, I'm not going to go out there and beg.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's what those people are for. They're the gatekeepers.
Yeah, if
And-
you notice me,
But
if you
it's-
saw something in me,
Right.
get me to where I need to be.
But
But
a
it's
lot-
shitty because that guy's just like, oh, when you're on Comedy Central, I'll get a hold of
But
you.
that's
like
when
what
they
he-
want you.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Yeah.
cultivate talent. Most talent agencies now don't cultivate talent. They get talent when they're already made, because then it's not as much investment. There's no risk.
It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
This guy's like John Peasy. He's been doing it how many years?
Yeah.
And he's never, like, I didn't know of him until I found him on Twitter and I started checking him out.
Yeah,
And
he's a monster.
Like,
He's
he is
a
amazing. He's
monster.
done incredible
But
things.
I mean, all those Vic DiBattista, all those
Yes.
guys were out there grinding away, doing stuff. And I mean,
30 years,
comics
those guys,
just amongst my friends, I could list and who you've never heard of, and they're all monster comics.
Yeah.
And it's just they do, it's the industry going. It was basically happened with Amy Schumer. The guys at Gotham Comedy Club really liked her. They put her forward. They got her into the Montreal Comedy Festival, and she just took off that way. And it was just because it was literally like your fairy godmother being like, all right, your turn. Go."
You're up.
Yeah, right.
Your
Put me in,
chance.
coach. And
Yeah.
that's really what it is. And some guys just wait their whole lives and never get
Yeah.
that tap. But on the flip side of that, the internet with YouTube and Facebook and everything gives us all the chance to get out directly to the audience, to an audience,
Yeah.
and create your. So I've tried to get into comedy clubs, and they've asked me how many Twitter followers do you have.
One of our buddies, Ralph, back in the day, said that, and I've never heard another comic, confirm it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he
yeah.
said, yeah, one of the clubs said you need a certain amount of Twitter followers for
Yep.
us to even consider you.
Yep, because they know that's people, and it's bullshit. Because
It is,
I have
yeah.
5,000 followers on Instagram. Not one of them has ever come to a show.
We have
Yeah.
11,000 on Twitter, and we don't get 11,000 listens every
yeah.
show.
Because
like-
and you know what? And we're living in such a bad time because you have all these followers and all these people who could be interacting with you. but
Totally.
We're living in the least interactive time. Nobody wants to interact.
No.
Everybody just wants to watch. Everybody wants to be able to scroll and just go, okay. Okay.
Oh, like-
and then I have so many people who come up to me and are like, dude, I love your posts on Facebook and on Twitter. It's so funny. And I'm like, you see that stuff? oh yeah, I see. I was like, you never liking it? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't like.
That's even worse.
I'm like,
yeah,
well, like,
because
that's how Facebook gets shit to the top. If you like it,
yeah.
I like it.
like.
What? Speaking of Facebook, what's going on with what's his tooth? Zuckerberg, was it? Who just did? Mark Zuckerberg. What was that? A press conference he did or something? Like
When he went before Congress.
is that what it was? Like I just saw it trending and I was like, I don't even know what this is. I'm not delving into this. What?
Rob, where have you been for the past week?
Oh, I don't know what he's talking about at all. I don't even know who Mark
See?
Zuckerberg is.
All right. That's why we're here showing you. No.
You guys should get the internet down in South Jersey. It's a good thing.
All I saw was my buddy Ryan saying he wanted to get rid of Facebook.
Do you really not know who Mark Zuckerberg is?
No, I do.
We know who Zuckerberg is, but like I
Mark
didn't.
Zuckerbot.
It was like all over. Some of those.
I was
news-
about to leave.
Some of those news stories when they're just saturating everything. I'm like, I don't even want to. I don't even want to look into this.
with all the security breaches that happened with the Russian hacks, and then they found out that Facebook was allowing advertisers to get people's personal information. Congress called
That's what I
Zuckerberg
thought.
to testify. It was 2 days. It was yesterday and today. I think
Oh.
yesterday he did the Senate. Today he did the House of Reps. I think that was how it worked. And basically for the politicians, it was their chance to be like, look, we're doing something. We're yelling at this guy. And for him, it was him just going, I'm sorry. I'm worth billions of dollars. I'm sorry. I'm still worth billions of dollars. I'm sorry. And you know, and it was. I mean, look. I watched a very little bit of it yesterday.
I saw a lot of live streaming. And I'm like, I don't know if I can
you know what? You
this.
have all these old guys who don't even know what the internet is, and they're like, "What's going on with the Facebook? What are you doing with eyes?"
Are they clicking or something?
You know what? I got poked, and I don't know about that. But
Get your apps up.
I didn't like it.
the best thing is the picture from yesterday's testimony, and it's funny because they showed the picture and everybody went crazy about it, but it was definitely done on purpose. Mark Zuckerberg was sitting on his briefcase to boost him up, and I guarantee you they gave him an extra low chair so he would look like a kid sitting at the desk, and he was probably like, "Fuck you."
I'm sitting on my fucking briefcase.
I'm sitting on this. So because everybody was like, "Oh, he had to boost himself up." No, they know. The Congress isn't stupid.
Yeah.
They wanted to make him look like this little kid being like, "I'm sorry."
That chair had half legs. They cut the legs down.
Yeah. So it's it was a big dog and pony show. Now everybody's gonna go back and go out with things. I got an update on Facebook that said, creator tools have changed. So they already did something.
They
to be
do
able
too
to
many
be-
updates.
Look,
It annoys me weekly.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
But there is
I didn't know. Like I figured maybe he admitted to some dirty shit or something. That's what I was hoping for.
That's where Rob went. Rob was like, "Who's he banging? Who's banging him?"
Where's McGreevy? We know you with McGreevy, bro.
It's the guy that created Facebook banging the person that fucking created Twitter. Is that what's going on?
Banging the training I'm following on Twitter. Like I gotta know where Belly J is on this.
But if you go into your settings, I had no idea. Somebody just posted this on Facebook earlier. If you go into your settings, Facebook makes all these assumptions about you that
Yes.
determine how. Like Facebook
Yes.
decided that I'm politically liberal by my posts.
Oh, wow. I
And
didn't
so
even know that.
advertisers who want to speak to liberal people, Facebook makes determinations by your posts and what you're looking
Wow,
at.
that's
And
weird.
if you go into your settings,
Wow.
if you go into your settings and then there's ad settings in there. There's just this whole list of criteria that Facebook has made up about you by what you've liked, what you search, and it's bananas.
Wow.
Because we all
Holy
see
crap.
Back off, Facebook. You don't
When I
know
started
me.
seeing it, just in the past week on just the messenger on my phone, there's now ads in your messenger. Like,
Is there?
I never saw that before. I don't know if I have it now, but yeah, just the day
Oh,
or
I
two
think I
ago.
do. I
Like,
see that all the time
I
too.
started
yeah.
getting like fucking sponsored ads in Messenger.
Yeah,
Like
that's
what the fuck?
because they're not making enough money.
Oh no.
You start to get a point where you just don't see the ads anymore, though,
Yeah,
right? Like
that's-
you blank them out
It's
because you're
not
never
even out,
looking
but-
for them.
Yeah, the last 2 days it's been towards the top. Towards
Well,
the top.
the worst thing is that like if you're shopping for something online. And then you're like, all right, I can't buy this. I can't afford it right now. Facebook is like, hey, remember this?
It
Look at
saves
this.
it.
Remember this?
Absolutely.
Remember this?
microphone?
Don't you want to buy this?
Yeah,
What, you never bought this? You wanna-
That's what I was saying.
Why
like,
didn't you ever call me? You never call.
You know, it's not good when we're doing a show. I'm scrolling through Facebook and they're like, big black dildo. You sure you don't want this?
You want this,
And I'm like,
you want this big dildo? It'll really stretch you out. It'll make you a gaper.
and then I just gotta be like, my computer's got a virus. So
So weird.
I got to update my virus protection. Jeez. What's coming up next, Kev? Do you have any projects coming up you could tell us about, or any big?
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of different things. I got I'm still in the trailer parking with Mike Sicoli, which we've gone on a brief hiatus from, that he and I are going to pick up back again. Mike Sicoli is very funny. He's my little partner in crime at the Mike Sicoli on Twitter if you want to go find him. I also started doing on my own, and you guys are going to make fun of me, but I started a YouTube series where I review men's clothes. And that silence was exactly what I was expecting.
It sounds like it would be like
that's actually kind of cool. I might check that out because I have terrible styles, I guess.
That or like something.
I wear a Marvel t-shirt.
It don't fit like you thought. Like there's so many things. What's up with t-shirts nowadays? Sometimes I'll buy a large and it's like this. Sometimes I'll buy a large and it's skin tight. What?
That's so the first video I went to 7 different stores and bought 7 polo shirts like that.
Okay.
And decided which was the best. And it was the shirts, like the Gap, Banana Republic, all the stores you would go to.
I like that.
And I have problems getting clothes, especially shirts, because my shoulders are a little broader, my waist is a little smaller. So anything I buy never fits quite right. And so the video was kind of tailored to like dudes who work out who can't find clothes to fit. So it's me going out there, finding stuff that fits, and then talking about what I like.
I like
that's
that.
really cool. How is it doing so far? Are people finding it?
I literally just posted the first one yesterday.
Cool.
If you go to my Instagram, Kevin Israel Comedy, you can link it from there.
Nice.
And I started my own channel for it, but finding a new channel on YouTube has almost been impossible. Because until you get, I think, 1,000 followers, you can't have a handle.
No, I didn't even know that.
We
grandfathered into that, I guess.
Yeah, so
we
my
monetized.
my YouTube channel is also grandfathered in. My comedy YouTube channel.
Yes.
But any new channels you start, because I guess so many people were doing it, they were like, no, you have to make. So it sort of makes sense. Yeah. But at the same time, it's hard because I don't. Other than giving you the link, I can't right now. I can't be like go to. Because you'll never find it.
The clothes guy.
You just if you go to my Instagram page, you can link to it from there. Okay. But it's gotten some views. It's gotten some good feedback, which is good.
That's awesome.
I posted up on Reddit. There's a couple style subreddits, and it's gotten some decent feedback. And it's
off of Reddit.
It's consistent. Yeah, you don't. Reddit is the worst and best place on the internet.
I do kind of love Reddit.
It's like I go to Reddit a lot.
A lot of times where I want information about something silly or like making a decision on like. I don't know what kind of video game to buy or something. Like Reddit seems to be the place because you get all these different opinions and stuff.
But you can get lost in the opinions, and then and then it's sidetracked, and suddenly you always end up looking at porn. Like whatever you're doing on Reddit, you always end up like DVDA. I'll go there. I don't know. I was just wanted to find out about tires, but somehow I ended up in an all monkey porn. But yeah. So Reddit's useful Reddit's useful. I go to Reddit in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I go on Reddit
for that porn.
If something happened, for that monkey porn,
for that morning porn.
If something important happened, it's on the front page of Reddit.
Oh, okay.
So you Reddit's a great place for that. To find out, it's the best place to get the news to me because you're getting it without all the CNN, Fox News bullshit.
Nice.
You're just getting the information, which I like, and then just some random guy in Kentucky's opinion of it. Like, I think we should kill them all. It's like,
fuck this shit, motherfucker! I'm gonna light my pipe up.
I love Trump. Woo!
I want to give you a style quiz real quick. Like I want to get your advice. So
just
I'm
tell
curious.
Slimmy looks like shit, please.
Well, yeah, I do right now, but
you look
so I've always wondered because like
acceptable.
So. How does a man go about jewelry? I see you got a necklace on and a watch. Like, do you match it with what you're wearing, or like, what's the strategy to how a man picks his jewelry?
Please punch him right now, Kevin.
I think less is best.
Okay.
So if you like, I wear the necklace because it's got my Jewish star. So it's not for me. It's not as much about the fashion of it as my mom got this for me in Israel. I'd asked her to get me one, so I have to wear it constantly. But I'll do a bracelet once in a while. If you find one thing that accentuates either what you're wearing or where you feel good about it, but don't load up on it. There was a while where guys were wearing like 30. I did it too. You're wearing 30 bracelets or like watch.
What about a pinky ring? I like a pinky ring.
You know what? Some guys can pull off the ring. I can't pull off rings. I think it just looks weird on me, and it's probably just in my head. But you know, a ring is okay.
Yeah.
Just don't go crazy with it. Find something small and simple. Like I have really thin wrists, so I can't wear big chunky pieces of, you know, so find something that fits you, that looks good, that matches whatever it is that you're wearing. If you're going
Fucking
casual.
fingers are weird too. I remember when I was married,
Especially when they're in
some
your ass.
days, yes. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Especially when
That's where the hands come from.
like-
he just pulled that out of his ass.
I remember sometimes my wedding ring would be real loose on my finger, and sometimes it would be like I
Well,
wouldn't be able to
swell
get
up.
off. Yes, certain
Yeah, well, throughout
times
the
of
day,
year,
my watch will be loose, or then by the end of the day, you swell up because you drink water, you take in the carbohydrates, the salt, you swell up a little bit, so the sizes of your joints and stuff change.
So now, do you own multiple watches, or is that like the only watch?
Yeah,
you own?
I have a bunch of watches.
And you
What
kind
are
of
you
like
calling
base
him a
them on.
one-watch pony?
Yeah.
I ain't no amateur. I got some watches.
And you choose your watch based on your outfit. I guess, too, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
My dad was a watch nut. I'm a watch nut. But yeah, you know what? The biggest thing. I'll tell you what. The best simple advice I can give you about any kind of style is find something that fits right.
So I have a Superman beanie, a Superman hoodie, and I bought a Superman watch to go with it.
I didn't know if you had a smartwatch.
I
didn't
have
know if that's what
a
you were
Spider-Man hoodie. I could not, for the life of me, find a Spider-Man beanie, but I got a Spider-Man watch.
When I was saying you wanted to
Cut his
match
mic,
your
Slambo. Can you punch that board, Slambo?
What are you saying?
Right.
nothing says sex machine like a Spider-Man and a Superman watch.
And matching hoodie.
You know what you should do? You should do like a video of just him going on a first date with a girl wearing on both wrists, wearing the Spider-Man watch on one and the Super, and see how long that first date.
I just cut
her
the hoodie.
house is gonna catch on fire faster than my mom just died. I gotta go. I don't know when it is.
I gotta like cut the hoodies in half and stitch them together,
There
so I'll
you
like
go.
have Superman on one side and have Spider-Man on the other.
That'd be wild.
I love Spider-Man. I love Superman. I couldn't decide. I wear them both. I love them. Where are you going?
Guys, we have to go to break. But Kevin, where can everybody find you?
You can find me my website, kevinisrael.com, on Twitter, KevinIsrael_NJ, and on Instagram at KevinIsraelComedy. And you can get my album. You can either go to my website, kevinisrael.com, or you can go, it's on iTunes. And I have tracks up on Sirius XM radio playing right now on
I
Raw
saw
Dog
ads.
and whatnot.
Congrats.
So yeah, it's all over.
What's
And yet
the
here I am.
I know. This is
This is it. I
top,
made it.
top of the line.
Top of the line, as I said, this is Hollywood, Kevin.
You're
This is
sign-
what Hollywood
sign
looks
those
like.
contracts on break. What track would you like me to play on break? Because I am.
It's a little different than the way I do it now. Some of these jokes have evolved, but I would say do Emails from Heaven. I think it's track
two.
Yeah.
Track 2. Let's see. Do I have to choose what I did? I don't know how. I got this stupid new player. I don't have Windows Media Player anymore. Just start playing. Stupid computer. I don't fucking know.
That's why you gotta get a Mac.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a Mac? That is a Mac. Isn't it?
No, it's an
Asus.
Asus.
Yeah.
It's
looks like this situation down there looks like a Mac.
Macs are fucking cool, but I heard they're you can't upgrade them. Like the
10
internet-
years.
Yeah.
You have 10 years, and then it's done.
Oh,
My computer's at 8, and it's already starting to crap out on me.
Oh man.
And I know I got like another 2 years, and then it's another $2,000. Like to buy a decent MacBook, it's $2,000.
Is it worth it?
wow.
You know what? I haven't had a single problem with that thing for 8
See,
years.
that's
Yeah.
No viruses.
Really?
I had an Asus or an Acer, and that thing had so many viruses. And literally, not making a
Wow,
joke.
no.
If you go to any porn sites, like any of them, you
done
end
with
up
this
with
computer.
so much crap on it
So
Oops.
that it ruins everything.
All right, guys, we will be back in a few minutes, but I'm gonna play you Emails from Heaven from The Struggle Is Real from Kevin Israel, and we're gonna take pictures, and we're gonna be back.
Oh, we're gonna take pictures.
Yeah, Slambo,
I
you
recently got signed up for
Got a camera, son?
I get emails now every day from a Bible list. I get prayer emails every day, a quote from the Bible every single day I get. And here's the thing, I'm Jewish, and they're very Jesus-y. emails. They're all very, like, a lot of, like, very Jesus-heavy emails. And I don't have anything against Jesus. Like, if Jesus is your guy, good for you. I dig what he did. Like, it's cool. But, like, he's not my guy. Like, I don't. And see, here's the thing about Jesus. Like, I look at Jesus like sushi. Hold on, I'm gonna explain. I don't eat sushi. It's not my thing. But if my friend wants to go get some sushi, I'll go with him. That's cool. So just like if you want to go get some Jesus, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll watch you enjoy your Jesus. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Hell, if you're running late home from work and you want me to pick you up some Jesus, I will get you some Jesus. But the minute you're like, hey, buddy, you want to try some of this Jesus? I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. That's not my thing. But now I'm getting these emails every single day, and I'm reading them, and I want to sign off of this list. Like, I want to unsubscribe, but I'm scared. Like, I'm scared at this point because at some point I'm going to die, and I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to be like, so do I get in? And God's going to be like, no, you didn't live the right kind of life. And I'm going to be like, well, how was I supposed to know? You never told me how to live. And he's going to be like, bro, I was sending you emails every single day. And I'll be like, oh, they must have gone to my spam folder. Is that...